3 days in the hospital, a heart nearly failing, then a choice. Suit and stress or service and strength.
It made me realize maybe that it's never too late for a reset. It gave me a wife, it gave me kids, it gave me a purpose. It reinforced my connection with Islam, a religion. It reinforced my connection with myself. So I guess it gave me much more that it took away from me.
Today, TEDx speaker and elite performance coach Allaoua Gaham, trusted by CEOs, champions and world-class brands all around the world.
Anger will always come back in your life, sometime daily, sometime weekly. You have meditation for that. You just have to save some time in your day to reflect, to look into what you're carrying, to look who you are and what's the difference between you today, you yesterday and you tomorrow.
What prevents us, me, you before to go from knowledge to understanding?
You learn only when you lose someone, when you lose your belongings, when you're about to lose it, when you lose your health, when you lose control. This is where your brain starts pushing to the next level of what can I change not to lose it? What can I change to reinforce it? And it's a cycle. So pain, it's the best teacher, definitely.
In the next 45 minutes, you'll learn exactly how to calm your nervous system on command, make clean decisions fast, and turn your pain into power. Allaoua, welcome to the show. It's amazing to have you here.
Thank you, my brother. I'm so happy to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I want to start with the very beginning of this journey of yours. What did those 3 days in the hospital take from you, and what did they give you?
Well, that's a very good question. What it took from me, not much. I believe the balance is more on the positive side. I receive a lot. It allowed me to step back, but not step back like, you do because you choose it. To step back because you have no choice. And every time you fell asleep, you're not sure if you're going to wake up after. It made me realize that I'm not necessarily going to the right direction, even if I thought I was. It made me realize maybe that it's never too late for a reset. And it gave me a wife, it gave me kids, it gave me a purpose. It reinforced my connection with Islam, my religion. It reinforced my connection with myself. So I guess it gave me much more that it took away from me.
Describe what was life like before that incident. What happened? What did life look like for Allaoua before this incident?
Well, I would say pretty standard life of someone who traveled the world, get 2 MBAs, one in China, one in France. Established myself since now 20 years in Dubai almost, but I was before the incident about 10 years. A lot of party, a lot of work as well, a lot of loneliness, and a lot of performance-driven choices. And this was what I believe today, with 10 years distance from this event, what led me to this.
So in hindsight, before this, what was you really chasing?
I guess like a lot of people, a lot of young people, pioneer to a new market. Because 20 years ago, Dubai was very different. I was looking for money, success, recognition, without looking for a purpose. I guess this was the main thing, and this was what, twisted.
Interesting. So he was looking for what everyone's looking for, money and success, but you didn't have a purpose. And, in hindsight, did you think you did have a purpose at the time? Because I hear it a lot of the time, my purpose is to make money, become really successful and get rich. That is my purpose.
Yeah. I don't think this is a purpose. I don't think you can live a sustainable life with a purpose. I would say a purpose will be more to find what's your talent, to find what's help you develop yourself. The problem when everyone's chasing success, money, fame, whatever, there's no real deep purpose. There's no reason. There's no why. See, when you start wondering what can I do better than other, this is where success and eventually money will come. If you're just driven by the outcome you forget the trunk. And this is what's happened with me. I cannot say I didn't have a purpose, but my purpose could not be sustainable because I was not a part of the equation where I recenter myself. All my efforts from this day are now driven towards self-development. And this is really, really important. So I really believe it's like you cannot love someone if you don't love yourself. So it's very hard to find success if you are lost into your own, meaning of life.
You can't give what you don't have, basically.
Definitely not. Not for long. I mean, you can pretend, but I don't think you.
Yeah, I call it the 3-hour Costa date. Like the first hour you show up fake, second hour you start to put, filter starts to disappear, and by the third hour, you can. It's hard to fake it for 3 straight hours with someone on a table.
And what's hard, you can be successful at faking things. I mean, this short time can be actually quite long. It can go for years. But you always burn out at some point. You always even fall into depression, like being surrounded with anxiety. And so the real purpose and your real talent, your real gift is when you're able to do something without getting tired, something that you don't feel that it's your work, something that really drives you, like real passion that you can bring to. And what I'm doing now, I can do it every day.
Yeah, something that pulls you rather than something you have to push, because pushing is exhausting, but pulling.
Exactly, yeah. That's very interesting. Like if I can take this point, it's the difference between motivation and inspiration.
I love that. That's what I say all the time, yeah.
Yeah, motivation, you're ready too late.
It's a balloon that shrinks. Inspiration is technically the oxygen.
Yeah, I never thought of it, but yeah, it makes sense. So what I usually say is like, motivation, it's active. It requires efforts, and if you need motivation, it means you're already behind, schedule. When inspiration, it's passive. You just receive. You receive abundance, you receive vibe, you receive image, visualization. So now the question is like how to switch from one to another. You need to be empty. If you're already full of sadness, regrets, anger, all this negative emotion that stop you from moving forward, you won't be able to receive anything that comes your way. God, universe, people around you, network will send you a lot of opportunities. So you have to keep your mind into such a state when opportunity comes your way, you have to seize it. This is inspiration.
It reminds me of a story. I'm probably going to butcher it, but there's a story about a young man. He comes up to a monk and he says, "Teach me wisdom." And then he starts to tell him everything about wisdom. The kid starts telling him everything about wisdom, and he's telling him, oh, I want to be this, and I did this, and I learnt this, and I traveled here, and I did that. And the monk just sat there and listened. And then eventually the monk started pouring water in a glass. Seems like you know this story.
I don't, but...
So he started pouring water in a glass, but he didn't stop. So he kept going and going and going. And then the young man said, "What are you doing?" He says, "You're like this cup. You're already overflowing. You have no room for any wisdom." And then the kid just initially got it. He's like, this makes a lot of sense. Going back to your point about you have to be empty. If your cup's already overflowing, you got to and pour something out.
Your cup is already overflowing of like useless emotions. It's even more. I mean, like we imagine the water is clear, but what if the water is dark and smelly and dirty and filthy? So that means it's not just full. It's full of things that you carry for nothing. I did a talk for family office at the Global Citizen with a lot of CEOs and investors. And so I just went straight to the point. I asked everyone to imagine having a backpack, removing the backpack from the shoulders, putting the backpack between the feet, opening the backpack, and truly looking what's inside. So I tell them, inside you must have some bricks of emotions. So lately, just pick one. So, and I did for myself. I had a lot of anger these days. So I took anger. I said, why I'm angry? What's the definition of anger? Punishing yourself for the mistake of someone else. So why should I pay for the mistake of people who actually piss me off? So I need to be able to forgive. I need to be able to forget. I need to be able to move on. So I just took the brick and threw it away. Same thing with frustration. Same thing with sadness. Same things with whatever was filling up my bag. Result is that your bag is half empty, and now you can receive greatness, success, love, compassion, happiness, joy. So it's up to your decision, your daily decision, and some people have prayer, some people have meditation, some people have visualization. Doesn't matter the technique, but it's up to you to decide how heavy You want this bag, and what do you want to put inside?
Yeah, that's really powerful. My only question to you then is, what do people do that know they have baggage, they know they have anger, they know they have frustration, they know they've got all these things, and consciously they're like, I want to get rid of it. Unconsciously there's a secondary gain from all these emotions. How do they cope with that?
Well, you can get rid of what you don't need. It will always come back. Anger will always come back in your life, sometime daily, sometime weekly. You have meditation for that. You just have to save some time in your day to reflect, to look into what you're carrying, to look who you are and what's the difference between you today, you yesterday, and you tomorrow. So it's a mechanism, like you're going to the gym, like doing yoga, like everything. You have to practice. You cannot just do it once and then you sort of for the rest of your life. We're always getting older. We're always changing. What you could do yesterday cannot do today. Maybe you can do things today that you could not understand before. So it has to do with discipline. If you rely on motivation and rely on experience, like you do it once or twice, and then you think you set, that's a mistake. It's discipline. It's something that you have to do daily. It's something that you have to provoke and something that you have to do without expectations. Because if your expectation won't meet, or the result won't be in your expectation, then you will have to deal with disappointment. So always meditate, always take time for yourself, reflect with no expectation. This is the key who make me switch from an arrogant, I would say, performance-oriented individual to someone who exploring life, with kindness and with resilience, with less ego. It's really has to do with this, no expectation.
Well, let's get into that, because my goal for people is not just to listen to things and go. That's not the point of this show. My show is like people usually want things fast, they want it good, and they want it easy. Otherwise, they're just not going to do it. So you're saying you have to reset, you have to make sure it's a doing, not a done, which is something that you consistently do. So for every CEO, human out there that's listening, that's having a tense day, they have anger, they have frustration, they have all these emotions, these bricks in the bag, which I love the analogy. What is give us a 60-second reset that they can do at their desk, in their living room, in their kitchen? What does 60-second reset look like? 60
seconds is already very long.
Really? I love that. Yeah, I love that. If 60 seconds is very long, we want it faster then.
Yeah, I mean, it takes even less than that. You just want to start bringing all the entities of what makes you human, your soul, your mind, and body together at the present moment. This is what you're aiming. How do you perform that? By focusing on something that is free, that you carry with you all the time, and that can change your entire life, your breath. So we'll do it together. Bring your hands on your thighs, back straight. Yeah. You're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Just nice and steady. You do it one more time. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. Now, you can open your eyes. The only difference, you're going to tell to yourself consciously, I inhale, I exhale. I inhale, I exhale. Carry on 3 times with eyes closed. I inhale, I exhale. I inhale, I exhale. I inhale, I exhale. You can open your eyes. It took literally 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I feel so much peace. I already felt peace because I did some stuff before. I even did some prayers before a podcast, but that's amazing.
It's not about peace. It's just about finding alignment. And we did it for 3 breaths. You can do it for 6, for 9, doesn't matter. I used to do it when I was dealing with rage roads, traffic,
road
rage, sorry. Excuse my French.
It's so good. It's good. But I find it funny. You look so peaceful to me. I can't imagine you road raging.
Yeah, no, I had the life before. Yeah, I'm actually pretty nervous, and I try not to. But yeah, when you have someone cutting your way, and you always feel it's personal, that person is like gonna, do something very negative to you. So there's two ways to do it. Either you stay upset and you ruin the rest of your day. If your wife calls you at this moment, you may just fight with your wife. It has nothing to do, poor things, with what's happening to you. So you hold the anger. Otherwise, you park the car if you can. Or when you arrive at destination, you switch off the engine, hands on the knees, eyes closed. You forgive the person, because maybe the person didn't do it on purpose. Maybe the person has his mother in the hospital. Maybe he's so sorry that he has to do that, but he was rushing. So just stop taking things personally. Nothing happened to you. Your integrity is fully fine, no accident, nothing. So you will learn how to forgive, and you will recenter yourself. So as soon as you're going to do this breath work, 3 breath, 6 breath, 9 breath, you are a different person. Your day will be amazing. So you forgive, you don't hold, life goes on. And then you can receive the abundance
That's awesome. That's awesome. I genuinely, even just doing that, I felt a bit more centered, aligned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's not just a feeling. It's mechanical things. You just increase the saturation of oxygen to your cells, to your brain. So you increase clarity. It's not just about feeling good. It's like you actually drop your level of adrenaline, control the level of cortisol, control the level of different hormones, especially the level of melatonin, which is the hormones inside your pineal gland who control your level of consciousness. So in 3, 6, or 9 breaths, there is some biological mechanism happening metabolically into your body. It's not just feeling, I feel better, I imagine I'm better. No, it's really happening. And everyone can try.
I love a lot of this, and obviously some people might listen, and I like that you shared that story about road raging, because sometimes people look at the finished product or the aftermath product and go, it's easy for Allaoua, it's easy for Hussein, or so on and so forth. So I want to go back to some of the triggers. So you had 2 MBAs, you had a strong finance career. What was the crack in that life before all of this, before this side? What was the crack in that life that kind of started the transition to this life?
Yeah, it was very violent. I suffered from a heart attack, a pre-heart attack condition, a strong arrhythmia. I stayed in ICU for a couple of days. And this was definitely when I realized that, we say in French, une fuite en avant. It's like when you're running ahead. So it's like an escape. I was into an escape mechanism, That's why I was not able to have a relationship or to build a family, I was obsessed by performance, obsessed by I have to run faster and keep on running. And I think this wake-up call was literally happening because of that, So from that, I was thinking, okay, every morning I'm waking up, but I'm not really happy about going to my own office, doing my own thing. Like something was definitely missing. So that was definitely what pushed me to reset and basically just unfold what was my life, because we all have a fold life by school, education, family, work, and sometimes we live in a cube and we don't even understand. So what I did this day, I unfold the cube I was, living in, and I was changing the shape. I decided to consciously changing the shape of my life.
Usually our beliefs create our life, our reality. So you must have had some beliefs, like, for example, I believed I needed to run faster and didn't want to create a family. So you had beliefs that got you to the arrhythmia, to the heart attack. So what beliefs did you have to let go of and get rid of and take out of your bag, back to that analogy, in order to be able to begin to make this leap?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question. And I think a lot of people believe that they have to make it. I believe if you believe you have to make it, you won't make it. It's as simple as that, because you're losing the essence of what's gonna make you make it, right? So once again, it's all about performance. I switch from looking at things that I have to do it whatsoever to I'm gonna explore to see what can I do there. So 3 phases of evolution of any human. Ignorance, usually when you're a kid, you don't know, you learn, you do mistakes, right? Then when you start growing, you learn at school. A lot of people, and it was the case, my case, stop there. You go from ignorance to knowledge. What happened this day, I switched from knowledge to understanding. And this is the beginning of consciousness. So this is the evolution that I encourage everyone to think of and lead towards it. And what make me understand what I've learned, it's this precise, flipped.
My question to that beautiful principle here, go from knowledge to understanding. But we don't. And you didn't before this experience. What prevents us, me, you before to go from knowledge to understanding?
That's a brilliant question. And the answer that I have so far, it might change. I think it's pain. Maybe you didn't have enough pain.
Leverage, pain.
We don't learn anything in a comfort zone. When you at the beach, chilling, you enjoy. You don't learn at this day. You learn only when you lose someone, when you lose your belongings, when you're about to lose it, when you lose your health, when you lose control. This is where your brain starts pushing to the next level of, wow, what can I change not to lose it? What can I change to reinforce it? And it's a cycle. So pain, it's the best teacher, definitely.
I could definitely resonate because I've had 61 past lives and pain definitely moved me. But you speak to a lot of people and they're like, it's almost like a paradox because we don't like pain. We'll do anything to avoid pain, to get pleasure. But yet we do want to change. So it's pain that's going to take us from knowledge to understanding. But for some people that just don't have pain, life is too good. What advice would you give to these people?
To wait. I think life, one of the purposes of life is to learn and to grow. So as you cannot grow without pain, pain will come to you. It doesn't have to do necessarily with comfort. A lot of people that I know, they're very wealthy, they have all the comfort in the world, but they're suffering tremendously inside. The suffering.
Internal pain.
Yeah, it's all type of pain. Say we say something in the martial art that I'm doing, the Sistema. This is very Russian. We say everyone wants to go to paradise, but no one wants to die.
Yeah.
So you have to suffer to understand. That's why spoiled kids, they go crazy at some point because they haven't, look at all the businessmen. Okay. Even if a lot of them, they receive an heritage and they've been, receiving fortunes for their parents, there is more and more self-made people because of bitcoins, because of technology, because of that usually start from the bottom, and they are usually the one who sustain a better fortune and sustain a better lifestyle. And I'm not saying always, but I'm saying
no, it's more likely.
Them,
because if you don't pay, you don't pay attention, and usually good times create weak people. Weak people create bad times. Bad times create strong people. Strong people create success, good times, and then the cycle continues. So usually generation 1 makes it, generation 2 kind of tries to sustain it. By generation 3, everybody's lost it.
And you can't change it.
Because they don't know the pain.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot fake the pain. If when you do combat, for example, you cannot. I mean, there's a lot of people, they practice in their room. Whatever, jiu-jitsu. The day they fight, they understand that, they've been lying to themselves all this time. That's why I encourage also parents to put their kids into jiu-jitsu and martial art, but to actually let them combat.
Yeah.
Without violence, but for them to understand that if they want something, they have to deserve it. If you get it with no effort, it's good. Now you have to fight to keep it. So
and then you might not have the beast inside you to keep it because you didn't work for it. Mike Tyson says everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
That's very true.
So in short, to close that question off, if you're sitting in your bedroom practicing, take one action to make you uncomfortable. Because really, I like your answer. I actually believe your answer. We usually have a significant emotional event that leads to a significant emotional decision that allows us to create X, Y, and Z thing. Change is I'm actually thinking about conversations I was having with a client this morning. She wants her boyfriend to do X, Y, and Z, and he's like super masculine. And she wants him to at least kind of use some of his feminine, but he's not going to change. And he's like, I'm not going to change. And she's like, what do I do? And this is literally my answer. I said, look, in my experience, which is my real experience, I used to be like that. And then I had a significant emotional event that led to a significant emotional decision that forced me to now be how I am today. In hindsight, what advice would I give myself? This is what I was telling her. I can't tell you what advice I'd give myself. I don't know what I could have done to get to today without that significant emotional event. And then she was like, oh yeah, okay, cool, I'll talk to him and stuff. So it reminds me of another story, just to really anchor this home. A guy that I know personally used to be an alcoholic, and he'd always tell his wife, hey, I'm going to stop drinking. And she would forgive him and all this stuff. And eventually he said, look, I can't do it anymore, I'm leaving. It's been 11 years, he hasn't touched alcohol. If she had just stayed there and said, can you just please stop, he would have never done it. But it took that significant emotional event to lead to the significant emotional decision to make reality. So
I don't know anyone who doesn't suffer. And it's not because you don't see that they're not suffering. And especially mental health. Because a lot of mental health, even if they're temporary, they're quite intense, but they're invisible. You don't know how hard is it for this person to go home alone, to go through whatever they need to go through. So it's I cannot think about anyone, and trust me, I know a lot of people that you see from outside that have perfect life,
me too.
They do actually, but they still suffer.
The thing is, if we understand the numbers, if you put the numbers and the data together, it's actually a miracle if you don't suffer, because you have 60,000 thoughts a day, and you're gambling on 60,000 thoughts being good thoughts. It's actually a miracle if you don't suffer, because you have to be super disciplined to actually center the mind, which by the way, this shouldn't be difficult because we already showed them, or showed myself as well. It takes 30 seconds to center, control your breath, center yourself, and catch those, go back into those thoughts.
I agree to what you just say, but I will not call it a miracle. I'll call it a curse. What miracle?
A curse to not suffer.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
horrible.
I see how we connect that with.
Yeah, that means you are
the
dead,
concept.
and even maybe after death, we might also suffer. Life is about suffering. It's not a sad thing to suffer.
Yeah.
It's up to you. It's a matter of perspective. If I take this, for example, and see, you look at this, it looks like, kind of a square, let's say. Then if not me moving this, you moving. So let's say if you walk all the way up, now you're going to see it from the top. It's going to be a circle. Now if you go from the corner, you'll see a line. So perspective, this is what makes you decide the quality of your life. So Jeff Bezos, I remember he says something about stress and problems. I say every problem is a blessing. If you find a way to solve it and you find the outcome, you growing, you learning. So that's why when you say it's a miracle if you don't have any pain or any suffering, I think it's a very bad curse, really. Probably
it is a curse, but I think what I was saying is,
dead.
if you look at the numbers, it's a miracle if you don't suffer, which
Yes.
means we all
Yeah,
suffer.
yeah.
So that's what I was going to get. But it's good that you mentioned that, because millions of analogies, I'll only share two. The caterpillar has to suffer to become the butterfly and spread its wing and fly. If you want, me and you both have teeth. If you want teeth, you're going to have to go through some teething pains to get the old teeth out to get the new teeth.
Yeah, of course.
So
It's
definitely true now that you put it that way. Like if you don't have any problems, you might even be suffering from the stagnation.
You
So-
cannot only have problems either. I mean, that's why it's all about balance. You need to. I mean, you need to enjoy when it's comfortable times. But you need to fight.
Enjoy the process.
Exactly. And I mean, like not just the process. It's like when you have a comfortable moment with your kids, with your friends. This you have nothing to learn there. You just want to enjoy. But when life gets harder and you have to solve some issues, don't let it become a problem. Don't stress out. Act. Work on it, and then you'll be able to balance everything.
So what you're really talking about here is how do you respond rather than react? Into my next question. What is the fastest way to stop reacting and start responding, which is enjoying the process? of the challenges and the problems you're going through.
This is the core of everything I do, basically. I just kind of figure this. Everything leads us to this. What's life? A consequence of your decision. In a very Cartesian way. So your life will be as good as your decision, or as bad as your decision, because you need to fix the consequences of the negative, or you need to, move on with positive consequences. So every day, I don't know, maybe we have 1,000 decisions to take. What I'm gonna eat. If I eat clean, then I work on my longevity. If I eat bad, I'll have to deal with some health issue. What do I drink? Who do I talk to? What do I do today? So all this are managed by a very simple process, which is things coming to us. Either we react to it, either we respond, or we can do both. We can respond but still react. So react will be an emotion. You see, let's take this road rage. No.
Road rage, yes. Rage road. Don't worry about it. We make the rules.
If you have a clash with someone, and take it personally, and so react will be to get upset, try to get physical, maybe insult, and you are the one losing time, you are the one losing energy, and nothing will. Respond will be to avoid the accident and go home. So every minute, maybe every second in life, you have the choice to be done, and this is, you ask me how, this is a conscious choice. So as soon as you start losing clarity, that means your emotion is taking over. And in Systema, we call this is a state of panic. So fear is okay because you can handle your fear, but panic will take decision instead of you. And then you have to pay for the consequences of this decision. So clarity is the key from every decision you take. How you keep clarity? Keeping your adrenaline level low, breathing, taking time, stepping back, not taking, emotional decision. Have you ever take a good decision when you were hungry? Like when you were very hungry?
Never.
And I don't think anyone,
Even the science doesn't make sense. Like when someone says, I couldn't think straight.
Exactly.
The science, neuroscience basically says when you're angry, 81% of your brain is not working. Because you have 25% more cortisol, 33% less likely to take risks. When you're not angry or you're feeling really good, you have 25% more confidence, which opens up the brain. So even the science isn't on your side.
This is absolutely right. Absolutely right. That's why how you can, okay, just imagine, recall one day when you were really, really upset, really angry, usually against your wife, or, for if you're a woman, against your husband or family. Why I take this family? Because there is an extra emotion, when someone close to you do something that
they know the right buttons. They know the right...
so it's multiply. So you become... So now just recall this moment when you're about to be a volcano who's going to throw lava on everyone. I recall a lot with my kids, And they're innocent. They're just pushing you to the limit. They don't even know, At this moment, if I take any action or if I say anything, it will not be very, positive. So...
Breathe.
Step back, wait, think about it, and I believe, I'm not an expert, but I believe the Prophet of Islam say, if you have nothing kind to say, don't say anything. So this is the exact moment where you have to be silent. And the more you grow, the more you reach to wisdom, and the less you speak. Technically, you see, older people, they speak less, they listen more, and which give more value to what they say. If you react every time you have the opportunity, you will waste a lot of time. So better to respond, to find solution without reacting.
The principle I'm taking from you here is basically prevention is better than cure.
Oh, yeah.
So take a deep breath, then enter. Whatever it is, the conversation, the meeting, whatever it is.
You just summarize one of the pillars of yoga somehow. We say we are getting ready. We don't know why, we don't know when, but the date will come, we will be ready. Do you think it's funny for everyone to spend 1 hour every day on your mat or in a gym? Or it's not. I mean, if we want to avoid it, but we have no choice. If you want to prepare yourself for this life of pain, of suffering, of understanding, of challenges, you have to prepare yourself. I'm dealing with athletes and fighters, like Alistair Overeem, for example, who was the only man in the world who was world champion of boxing, so K1 kickboxing, and like MMA, he has like UFC title shot. The training are usually 10 times worse than the actual competition. If your training is less than the fight, you guarantee you're going to lose the fight. So it's the same thing. You always prepare yourself more. You need to have extra room for failure, so you can even turn failure into success. And this is in business as well.
When I was reading on some of your stuff, you said, which basically what you just described, I just want to basically give it a name, the 3-step rule. So pause, name the emotion, then pick the next best move. So that's what you've basically just described. Great. You mentioned that you coach athletes. I used to be an athlete, so I know the nerves that come with it.
What was your discipline?
I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I did MMA, but I first started off as kickboxing. Then I hurt my knee. Then I went into boxing. Then I went back into MMA.
So you know Alistair.
I know about him. I don't know him personally. If he wants to come on this podcast, he's more than welcome.
Yeah, I mean, talk to him. But yeah, he was a legend. I mean.
Yeah, of course. No, I know he's like the early legends. So my question is, when they're preparing, how do you prepare them? Like, what's the strategy? What's the principles? What are you really saying to them? What are you saying to them in the back room?
Yeah, I mean, I don't prepare them precisely just before competition, even if it can happen. I have a lot of athletes that are retired athletes, I have some of them that are actually still like competing, but I would say it's more an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing thing, and it's very similar to what I'm doing also with the CEOs, because I see CEOs like athletes as well. They just don't use the body, they use the brain, but they also have to perform. They have thousands of people watching them, if it's not millions. So you just want to create a safe place for them to be able to stabilize the emotions with breath technique, with stretching. Like stretching is a very powerful tool. And allow the place for them to get a stable mind and clear mind when they have to take decision. Either if it's during a competition, either is doing a joint venture, So I really, really consider that a long run, mentoring maybe. See, I'm trying to be like humble. I don't really like the word mentoring, because sometimes I even feel that they are my mentors, and that's the beauty of this. Yeah, it's a relationship. So I learn as much as I teach. I don't even say teach, because it's a sharing. It's a sharing. And when those people, I have oligarch, have people who worth literally billions, really. And when you get the ears, it's really make you feel good. I mean, all this 10-year sacrifice I did, learning, trying, stepping back to my previous life, it really give it a meaning. You are as good as your student, and this is very important to understand, because they give you the value. You can be the best coach in the world. If no one needs you, you will fade away. Yeah. So it's all about who you working with.
So iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, definitely.
Because if you're like good, they're really good. They're gonna push you. You're gonna push them. Definitely. The better question there actually would have been this: that you treat pain on 3 levels. You already started mentioning them, breathing and stretching, but I want to give the question a better structure. So the better question is: you treat pain on 3 levels: physical, mental, and emotional. What is one quick example of each: the physical, the mental, and the emotional?
That's a very good question. Usually, I always start with the physical, because physical will be the gate to access the other pain. Mental pain is very hard to detect, and even sometimes you can suffer from vulnerabilities and you don't even aware of it. So all my sessions start with the deep stretch, because first it gives you time, it gives you awareness. I can see where are the blockage. I can understand if it's an emotion that is stuck into the fascia. that is biomechanical, that it's a trauma. And from that, it comes very easily. Whatever blockage we find on the hamstrings, on the psoas, on the like iliacus hip flexors, will have a mental or an emotional purpose and roots. And then again, we unfold and we try to move to the next. So I would say 80% of the practice is physical, but 99% of the gain is both mental and emotional. Yeah.
So that's the physical stuff, because
Yeah.
obviously, and that makes a lot of sense. Strong body, strong mind. A lot of people want to have a strong mind, but they don't know what resistance is on the body. So then what's one example of the mental? How do you work with them on the mental?
We use meditation and breath work, the present moment. You know, we believe if you are depressed, that means your mind is stuck in the past, with regrets, with sadness. If you have anxiety, that means your mind is anticipating on the future, imagining what could happen, and it's not reality. So
Time traveling.
so your mind always keep on traveling. Breath work and meditation will force your mind, even for sometimes, to be along with your body and with your soul, basically, your emotions. So this is one of the techniques. Yeah.
Before I ask the next question, which is what is an example of emotional, what is the difference between mental and emotional? See, I can understand the physical and the mental. What's the difference between mental and emotional?
Mental is related to your brain, your cognitive brain, your decision making, you know. Like emotion, it's linked to the soul. It's linked to feelings. It links to what you have not in your first brain, your brain, physical brain, but more your stomach brain, you know, all the neurons that we have inside the guts and the microbiota, and that we still discovering every day. But I give you an emotion, an example of emotion. We say when we're in love, we feel butterfly into the belly. And there's no butterfly.
Yeah, hopefully not, otherwise I have problems.
It's mainly a iliaco-thoracic compression, you know, like agitation, linked with the nervous system, the endocrine system, releasing some hormones. So this is the emotions. So just remember, mind is brain, emotion is soul, is what you feel.
So what is an example that you help with people emotionally?
Resilience, I guess this is one of the main things.
So how do they do that? For example, with physical, you stretch. With mental, you said meditation and breath work. What can they do for emotional?
We use some stillness, fear management, you know. I like to use these combat techniques sometimes to push them to the edge. You can lie to yourself a lot. You can believe you're the best, you're not scared. But identify few things. Combat, the Mike Tyson things. You always have a plan until the first punch. Handstand. Handstand has to do a lot with emotion because there's no gray line. Either you balance, either you don't.
Yeah.
So we use different technique to push the limits. It's mainly linked to fear. Fear play a very central role into all the emotions.
So what I'm getting here is, whether it's for physical, mental, or emotional, diagnose fast what it is, you know. Have I not slept? Have I not eaten? Whatever it is. Mental is like, am I breathing? Emotional, it's more, how have I been feeding my soul, if I got that correctly?
How I've been handling what I'm going through. Trauma.
Okay.
For example, frustration that you receive, what you're doing with that. Because the body will store all the emotion, because the body doesn't understand really like emotions, you know, feelings, but it has to deal with it. So we come again to the backpack things. So the body will store it somewhere. If we stretch, and I invite you for a session of my Fedopic method, in 15 minutes I will be able to point few things pretty much that happen in your past or something that you're struggling with, just by the mobility, by your range of motion, by your breathing reaction, by your holding phase during, you know, stretching. So this is by experience. I can actually understand who, you know, who I have in front of me, not the person that you want to show me, which is
what most people try to do. They try to show you their best self, but you know,
you
when
cannot
we're really
lie when you stretch.
when we're tested,
who you are.
We bring out who we really are. So my last kind of topic / question is just decision making. Because I'm listening to this and I'm going, man, in an ideal world, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to breathe, I'm going to take a deep breath, I'm going to, exercise and everything else. But we all know the people that are listening to this, like athletes, CEOs, they love the word busy. So when time is short, how do I make the right decisions?
There's no other way than not speaking, stepping back, and breathing to increase clarity. It's not just about if you, at some point you will condition your body and you will start using the reptilian side of your body, which is your instinct. So what is your instinct? It's a form of magic that your brain does to take, for example, the Formula One drivers. Why they are able to turn at their speed, not because they're geniuses, even if a lot of them they have talents, definitely, but because they train. They can close their eyes, they can recognize any racetrack just by the nose of the engine.
So repetition beforehand.
Of course, repetition.
So practice in private, what you get rewarded for in public.
Definitely. And when it's happening, just don't forget to breathe.
And what's
fear will make you stop breathing. Yeah, if you get attacked right now, the
I
first thing
realize
you
that,
get and you will hold. No, you have to take control
breathe.
immediately. Finish. This is the first step. After, everything will come smooth, but you have to start it.
So this is how I deal with it. A lot of the time I just check in with, am I breathing? So sometimes, even if I'm not scared, I'm just working, I forget to breathe. It sounds crazy. So I just sit back, take a deep
You
breath.
don't sound crazy. You sound aware. You know how many breathing techniques, pranayama, is over 2,000. You know how many books in all the history of humanity are dedicated to how to breathe. This is a very unique function because it's completely automatic but completely controllable. When you sleep, you don't think of breathing, but you're still breathing. But even though, as soon as you think about your breath, you can increase the speed of inhale, of exhale. You can hold empty, you can hold full, you can choose to inhale for a few seconds, 1, 2, 3. So it's something that you can control from every aspect of it. And when your mind is away, you will, still breathe automatically, so you can stay alive,
So you said there are thousands, but let's start to wrap up with, what's your favorite one? What's your favorite breath cue that you love?
It depends on the moment. It depends on what I'm doing. If I'm doing effort, I'm focusing only on exhalation. Usually combat, when I fall or when I try to find balance in handstand, I don't inhale. I don't think about my inhale, and I encourage everyone to think about this. I think exhalation is more important than inhalation. I would even say, I'm actually trying to write a book about it, try to compile all this. Inhale, it should be really programmed by the reptilian, and exhale should be cognitive. I'm not even sure what I'm saying, but this is what I feel right now. In all disciplines, the exhalation will be the key, either to accept the heat or to release tensions or to fall on the floor or to do handstand or to perform anything. You want to be empty as much as possible. So don't want to bring your awareness on your inhale. And my mantra, what drove my life for the past 10 years, is every inhale is a blessing, every exhale is a healing. Every inhale is a blessing because you acknowledge that you're alive, otherwise you won't be able to breathe, and if you stop breathing, you die, right? So it's kind of being grateful to be alive. Every exhale is a healing, is using the exhale to let go, not just the air out of the body, but the tension, the fear, the pain, whatever doesn't belong to your body anymore.
What's your one parting message for everyone that's listening?
Every inhale is a blessing, every exhale is a healing.
And where can people... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yes, this might sound simple, but it really explain much more than that. And I'll let people just reflect on this,
So, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure of mine to have you. Where can people find you if they want to stay connected with you and your work?
The easiest way is through Instagram. I'm being very diligent at checking all my DMs, so you can drop a DM and you can ask any question. I'll be happy to help.
Beautiful. And also, we're going to put all the links in the description as well, but you've also got your own podcast, you've got YouTube, and your Instagram. And do you want to tell us a bit about your book?
Yeah, Guru, this book is for you. I'm going to dedicate it personally for you. So, Guru, the name itself is very interesting. In Sanskrit, Gu means the darkness, and Ru means the light. So a guru is someone that enlights you, that make you move from the darkness to the enlightenment. So we are all the guru of someone. Parents are the guru of the kids, like teacher, we all teaching. So this is a conversation on 10 topics that can hopefully enlighten people or give them another perspective, the perspective that I've learned through yoga.
And where can people buy it?
Online.
On Amazon?
Yeah, on Amazon.
Fantastic.
On
So you can get your hands on this on Amazon. We'll probably put the link in the description as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
Before you go, remember to subscribe to the show and drop your biggest takeaway in the comments below so we can bring on more amazing guests just like Allaoua. Till next time, stay limitless.